beginning of the occupation of Japan.
The Movietone News Theatre is confident that a resume of the events that took place in the critical days before the Saar plebiscite must be of particular interest this week. Strange that the ancient, quiet-looking city of Saarbruken should turn into the storm centre of European politics. But this small town of some 130,000 inhabitants, which is situated on the Franco-German frontier north of Lorraine, happens to be the capital of that rich industrial and mining region, the Saar territory. Originally German, the Treaty of Versailles gave France absolute possession of the mines as compensation for the destruction of her own northern mines in the war. Districts containing the mines were detached from Germany and formed into the Saar territory, administrated by an international governing commission responsible to the League of Nations as trustees. Mr. Geoffrey Knox, the President. The imminence of the plebiscite to decide the fate of the Saar naturally aroused grave anxiety lest the rival claims should lead to a Franco-German clash. An international force, therefore, to which Britain contributed the biggest section, was drafted into the Saar to maintain order. The British commander, Gen Brind, was placed at the head of the whole force. No demonstration occurred when the troops arrived and marched through the streets, the people greeting them in silence. But the prominence of the swastika seemed to show which way the wind was blowing. Another British officer, Major Hennessy, was in command of the international police force. In so vital a decision as the final sovereignty of the Saar, every vote counted, and Saarlanders living abroad came from all over the world to poll. As Movietone's vivid pictures show, the influx was overwhelmingly pro-Nazi. The salute of the arrivals and of the people greeting them speaks volumes. At the same time, it was essential that no unauthorized persons, that is to say, no one without a title to vote, should slip across the frontier. Special precautions were therefore taken to prevent this occurring, both on the French frontier, where every car was stopped and the occupants questioned by gendarmes, and also on the German frontier, where the same formalities took place and papers were examined. Then came the last phase before the plebiscite on Sunday the 13th. The two principal parties put in some intensive eve of the poll electioneering on a big scale. First, the Einheitsfront, or communists, marched through the city demanding the status quo, namely that the Saar should remain under the League of Nations. But the German front was also out in mass formation, a vast pro-Nazi gathering carrying on the pro-Nazi campaign of Back to Germany. A mere snowstorm was ignored in the heat of the moment. Undaunted, thousands marched through Saarbruken or watched the marchers despite a veritable blizzard. Umbrellas kept off the snow. Nothing could damp the ardor of the German front. And nearby, the British troops were on parade in case of trouble. The voting card with 3 circles, a cross to be made in one of them, either for the status quo, for French rule, or back to Germany. Early voters, the secret polling booth, and there goes his card. Some of the first to poll were hospital patients, for in the case of the Saar, no one was too ill to vote. Prisoners, too, brought from the local lockups, bereft of most rights, still retained the right to vote. Preliminary voters are said to have numbered about 3,000. And now the great plebiscite is over. The choice has been made.